Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you did a squat and thought, wow, that felt amazing? If you're over 50, chances are your answer isn't very enthusiastic. Maybe your knees complained. Maybe your lower back tightened up.
My back.
Maybe you felt more
Gotta be
pressure
careful.
in your joints than strength in your muscles. And yet everywhere you look, you keep hearing the same advice. Just do squats. Squats fix everything. But what if I told you that after 50, squats are not always the smartest move, and that there are two exercises that can actually build more strength, improve balance, protect your
Let's try a
joints,
safer
and help you
alternative
move
to
better
jumping
in real
jacks.
life?
Extend your arms
Today, I'm
wide,
going to
then
show
lower
you
into a
two
gentle
exercises that, for many people over 50, are not just safer than squats, they're better. They target the muscles that truly matter for longevity. Your glutes, your hips, your core, and the stabilizers that keep you steady on your feet. And here's the best part. They're joint-friendly, beginner-friendly, and incredibly effective. Now, before anyone panics, I'm not saying squats are bad. Squats are a fantastic exercise. But after 50, your body is different. Cartilage may be thinner. Knees may not track the way they used to. Ankles may be stiff. Your balance might not be what it was at 30. And when form breaks down, squats can shift stress into the knees and lower back instead of loading the powerful hip muscles they're supposed to strengthen. As we age, our glutes naturally weaken. And weak glutes don't just affect how you look, they affect how you move. They influence how you climb stairs, how you get up from a chair, how steady you feel walking on uneven ground, and even how much pressure your knees absorb. When glutes are underactive, knees and lower back often pay the price. So instead of forcing your body into deep knee bends that might irritate your joints, what if you could strengthen those same muscles in a smarter way? The first exercise is the step-up. Simple, controlled, powerful, and incredibly functional. Think about it. In real life, how often do you drop into a deep squat position? Not very often. But how often do you step onto something? Stairs, curbs, porches, getting into a car. Step-ups directly train that movement pattern. To do a step-up, all you need is a sturdy platform, a low step, a staircase, or even a strong box. You place one foot fully on the step, press through your heel, and lift your body up until you're standing tall. Then you lower yourself back down slowly and with control. What makes this better than squats for many people over 50? First, it's easier to control knee alignment. Your shin stays more vertical. You're not forcing deep knee flexion under load. Second, it trains each leg independently. That's huge. Most of us have one leg stronger than the other, and squats can hide that imbalance. Step-ups expose and correct it. And here's something important. Step-ups demand balance. Every time you shift your body weight onto one leg, you're challenging your stabilizing muscles. Those small muscles around your hips and ankles wake up. That's not just strength training. That's fall prevention training. Falls are one of the biggest health risks after 50. And balance isn't improved by sitting on machines or locking both feet to the floor. It's improved by controlled, single-leg work. Step-ups deliver exactly that. Now let's talk about how to make them safe. Start with a low step. Focus on pressing through your heel, not your toes. Move slowly. If you need support, hold onto a railing or wall lightly at first. Over time, as your balance improves, reduce that support. The goal is smooth, controlled motion, not speed. If your knees are sensitive, step-ups are often far more comfortable than squats because you can control the height. You choose the range of motion. That's powerful. You're adapting the exercise to your body, not forcing your body to adapt to the exercise. Now let's move to exercise number 2, and this one might surprise you because it looks simple. It's the glute bridge. The glute bridge may not look impressive. You're lying on your back, feet on the floor, knees bent. You press your heels down and lift your hips toward the ceiling. That's it. But don't underestimate it. Remember earlier when we talked about weak glutes? The glute bridge directly targets them. And it does so without loading the knees or compressing the spine. After 50, many people develop lower back discomfort not because their back is weak, but because their glutes aren't doing their job. When glutes fail to extend the hips properly, the lower back compensates. Over time, that compensation adds up. The glute bridge retrains proper hip extension. It teaches your body to generate power from the hips instead of the lower back. When done correctly, you should feel this primarily in your glutes, not your hamstrings, and definitely not in your spine. Lie down. Bend your knees. Place your feet hip-width apart. Press your heels into the floor and squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips. Pause at the top for a second. Lower slowly. Control the movement. If it feels too easy, hold the top position longer. If it feels too hard, reduce the height slightly and focus on form. What makes this better than squats for many over 50? Minimal joint stress, maximum glute activation, and the ability to progressively overload safely by adding resistance like a light dumbbell across your hips once you're ready. When you combine step-ups and glute bridges, something powerful happens. You're strengthening your hips in two different ways, one upright and functional, the other supported and focused. One challenges balance and real-world movement. The other isolates and rebuilds foundational strength. This combination addresses the real needs of aging bodies: strength, stability, coordination, and joint protection. And let's talk about confidence for a second. After 50, it's not just about muscle. It's about trust in your body. Trust that you can step onto a curb without wobbling. Trust that you can climb stairs without grabbing the railing for dear life. Trust that you can get up off the floor if you need to. These exercises build that trust. Now, how often should you do them? 2 to 3 times per week is perfect. Start with 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 controlled repetitions for step-ups on each leg. 4 glute bridges, aim for 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, focusing on that squeeze at the top. Move with intention. Quality over quantity. Boys. And here's something else I want you to hear clearly. Just because you're over 50 doesn't mean you should avoid strength training. In fact, the opposite is true. Muscle mass naturally declines with age. That decline affects metabolism, bone density, balance, and independence. The key is choosing exercises that respect your joints while still challenging your muscles. Squats can absolutely still be part of a program if they feel good for you. But they're not mandatory. They're not the only path to strength. And for many people, they're not the smartest starting point. If you've been avoiding lower body training because squats hurt or feel intimidating, I want you to try these 2 exercises instead. Give them 4 weeks. Stay consistent. Focus on control and proper form. You may notice stairs feel easier. You may notice your knees ache less. You may notice your posture improve because stronger glutes support a more upright stance. You may even notice your walking speed improve. And yes, walking speed is actually one of the strongest predictors of longevity. This isn't about building massive muscles. It's about building a resilient body that supports you for decades to come. Strength after 50 is freedom. Freedom to travel. Freedom to play with grandkids. Freedom to move without fear. And that freedom comes from smart, sustainable training. So if you've been forcing yourself to squat because you thought you had to, maybe it's time to shift your approach. Step-ups. Glute bridges. Simple, effective, joint-friendly, and incredibly powerful when done consistently. Try them. Commit to them. Feel the difference. And if this helped you see lower body training in a new light, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone over 50 who needs to hear this. Drop a comment below and tell me which exercise you're going to start with. I read every single one. Let's keep building strength the smart way, together.